Hi, Viv. This is Nano. Well, since it's winter and theoretically we should be having snow, I know you got a little bit, and hopefully in January you're going to get a nice big snowfall. So this book is a very famous story of a little boy who gets to play in the snow. I probably read it to your daddy when he was a little boy. That's how famous it is. It is called The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats. Ezra Jack Keats, The Snowy Day. To Tick, John, and Rosalie. One winter morning, Peter woke up and looked out the window. Snow had fallen during the night. It covered everything as far as the eye could see. Peter lived in the city, so you could see that there were buildings outside of his apartment and lots of snow on them. Well, after breakfast, there's Peter. Look at that. After breakfast, he put on his snowsuit and ran outside. The snow was piled very, very high along the street to make a path for walking. Wow, that's a lot of snow. You know, Viv, when I was a little girl, we used to get snow that deep. I remember. Okay. Look at this. Crunch, crunch, crunch. His feet sank into the snow. He walked with his toes pointing out like this, like a duck. Then he walked with his toes pointing in like that. They call that pigeon-toed when you walk like that. So when we get some snow again, Vivi, I want you to practice making those footprints just like that, okay? He's pretty clever, isn't he? Then, whoa, he dragged his feet slowly to make tracks. Look at that, tracks in the snow. And then he found something to sticking out of the snow that made a new track. So then he had 3 tracks. You could do that too. Well, it was a stick. Look at that. A nice long stick, too. And look at that tree. A stick that was just right for smacking a snow-covered tree. And all the snow fell down on top of him. Another memory I have when I was a little girl, we used to get icicles on our roof. And I used to open up my bedroom window and I could reach out and grab the icicles off the bedroom window and bring them in and eat them. So that was a fun winter memory. Well, down fell the snow, plop, right on the top of Peter's head. That's pretty funny. You could definitely do that too, Vivi. Look at him walking. He makes good tracks in the snow, doesn't he? Track, track, track. Well, he thought it would be fun to join the big boys in their snowball fight, but he knew he wasn't old enough. Not yet. Look at that. Well, they're throwing snowballs, and I'm afraid Peter got hit. That's what happens when you're about, I think he's about 6. I'm guessing that, but he looks about 6. So, guess what he did? He made a smiling snowman just for himself. Well, you know, they didn't have Olaf then, because this was quite a while ago, so he just made a smiling snowman. Oh, but you've done this. What is he doing? You tell me. He's making snow angels. That's so much fun. Well, then he pretended that he was a mountain climber. He climbed up a great big, tall, heaping mountain of snow. If we get a really big snowfall in Columbus, a way you can get a mountain of snow like that is if you go up to where Target is at Graceland and they plow the parking lot, They can have snow piles that high. I've seen them. We just need a really big snowfall in Columbus. Well, he slid all the way down the hill of snow. Pretty cool. That is fun. Then he picked a handful of snow and another and another. He packed it round and firm, and he put the snowball in his pocket to save for tomorrow. Then he went into his warm house. That's interesting. Do you think that's a good idea? What do you think will happen, Vivi? Well, he told his mother all about his adventure while she took off his wet socks. Another thing, when I was a little girl, my mommy would dress us all up in our snowsuits. There were 4 of us, right? And send us outside when we had a good snow. And she wouldn't let us back into the house right away because it took so long to get dressed. So we would get so wet. And then we would come inside and we'd take off all our wet clothes. And we had radiators, so that's where your heat comes out. And we used to put the wet socks and mittens on the radiator and they would go hiss. Totally remember that. So much fun. Well, guess what Peter's doing? Oh, he's taking a nice hot bath. Doesn't that feel good after you've been playing outside in the cold? Look at that. He's got his ducky. Yep. And he thought and thought and thought about his snowballs. Well, before he went to bed, he looked in his pocket, but his pocket was empty. The snowball wasn't there, and he felt very sad. What do you think happened, Vivi? Peter was sad. While he slept, he dreamed that the sun had melted all the snow away. And unfortunately, we know that can happen. But when he woke up, his dream was gone and the snow was still everywhere. Also, better yet, new snow was falling. He was so happy. So, after breakfast, he called to his friend from across the hall, and they went out together again into the deep, deep snow. And I'll bet they had just as much fun the next day as they did on Peter's snowy day. The end.